order the City Council meeting for City of East Grand Forks for Tuesday, November 16th, 2021. City Clerk, please call roll.
Mayor Steve Gander.
Here.
Council President Mark Olstead.
Here.
Council Vice President Tim Riopel.
Here.
Council Members Clarence Vetter.
Here.
Dale Helms.
Here.
Tim Johnson.
Here.
Mark Demers. Brian Larson.
Here. As term quorum, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Open forum and opportunity for members of the public to address City Council on items not on the current agenda. Items requiring council action may be deferred to staff, boards, and commissions for research and future council agendas if appropriate. Is anybody here that wants to address the council? I see none. Approval of minutes for November 2nd regular meeting and November 9th work session. Moved by Demers. Second by Helms. Any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Riopel.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Olstead.
Yes.
Demers.
Yes.
Larson.
Yes.
Vetter.
Yes.
Helms.
Yes. Motion is carried. Scheduled bid lightings, there is none. Move on to scheduled public hearings. Public hearing to consider granting a property tax abatement for the homes that qualify under the new construction housing program. Moved by Demers. Second by Riopel. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Public hearing is now open. Any discussion? Mr. Gordy, you have anything to say? Or? You have anything, Mr. Gordy?
Very briefly, this is the annual activity that we do pursuant to the program to provide 2 years of property tax rebates to newly residents in new homes in the city, and we work on this together with the county and the school district, and this is this year's iteration. There are 23 properties involved this year.
Members move to close. Second by Riopel. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Public hearing is now closed. Move on to the consent agenda. Items under the consent agenda will be adopted with one motion. However, councils may request individual items to be pulled from the consent agenda for discussion and action. If anyone like 4 through 9 pulled, not entertain a motion. No 4 through 9, please.
Move 4 through 9.
Moved by Riopel, second by Helms. Any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Riopel.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Olstead.
Yes.
Demers.
Yes.
Larson.
Yes.
Vetter.
Yes.
Helms.
Yes. Motion is carried. Acknowledge a receipt of reports of officer boards and commissions, regular meeting minutes of Water, Light, Power, and Building Commission for October 20th, 2021. Communication, there is none. Old business, there is none. We'll move on to new business. Consider adopting Resolution 21-11-79 authorizing a tax abatement on listed properties that qualified under the new home construction program for 2021 that is payable in 2022. Moved by Demers.
Second.
Second by Mr. Vetter. Any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Riopel.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Olstead.
Yes.
Demers.
Yes.
Larson.
Yes.
Vetter.
Yes.
Helms.
Yes. Motion is carried. Number 12, consider adopting Resolution 21-11-80, authorizing a renewal of the new home construction program, allowing a 2-year tax abatement for homes that qualify through December 31st, 2026. Moved by Demers. Second by Larson. Any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Riopel.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Olstead.
Yes.
Demers.
Yes.
Larson.
Yes.
Vetter.
Yes.
Helms.
Yes. Motion is carried. Number 13, consider adopting Resolution 21-11-81, approving and adopting the 2050 East Grand Forks Land Use Plan Update. Moved by Demers.
Second.
Second by Vetter. Questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Riopel.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Olstead.
Yes.
Demers.
Yes.
Larson. Vetter.
Yes.
Helms.
Yes. Motion is carried. Number 14, consider adopting Resolution 21-11-82, approving the hiring of Casey Reel as a parks maintenance worker at a salary of $19.13 per hour. Moved by Demers.
Second.
Second by Riopel. Any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Riopel.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Olstead.
Yes.
Demers.
Yes.
Larson.
Yes.
Vetter.
Yes.
Helms.
Yes. Motion is carried. Number 15, consider approving I-2 in general industrial zoning for the future annex property of approximately 22 acres of property located north of County Road 17, west of Highway 2, and east of the Crystal Sugar property. Is there a motion?
Move.
By Riepel.
Second.
Second by Helms. Ms. Ellis.
Okay, just quickly, I'd like to go through the annexation process, just so you're aware of how we flow through annexing a property and then development. The first step is this step, which we have to establish zoning for that piece of property. Once the zoning's established, then we can move forward on whether it's orderly annexation or annexation by petition, and that will be addressed in the next agenda item by Ron Gulstead. What the Planning Commission does is they look at three things. They look if it's an appropriate zoning for this property, which it is because it's located next to general industrial currently. Does it fit with our current city comprehensive plan? One part of that plan is the land use plan, which we just adopted, plus the 2045 did show this as a potential growth area for industrial. And then the third thing is, does it fit into the current zoning, which it does. So because of those, we have established a general industrial district for that particular piece of land. And then once that's approved and recommended by the Planning Commission, it's up to you as to whether or not you will establish that zoning, and then we move forward with looking at annexation and whether or not it's beneficial to the city, how we maintain or get services out there, or if they still use county services. And then the next steps then would be, if they were to develop it, it would have to be platted, and then based on whatever use they want to, it would either go through a permitted use or a special use permit. Would come back to you for a public hearing, and that public hearing would then discuss that type of use if it was a special use permit. So does anybody have any questions? Thank you.
Roll call, please.
Riepel?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Olsted?
Yes.
Demers?
Abstain.
Larson?
Yes.
Vetter?
Yes.
Helms?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Number 16, consider adopting resolution 21-11-83, accepting the petition to annex property in the city and authorize the city attorney to proceed with the annexation process.
Move.
By Riepel, second by Helms. Questions or discussion? Anything to add, Mr. Gulstead?
Just briefly, we received a petition to annex approximately 22 acres in out there east of Crystal Sugar. We've gone through the petition. I followed up with the Minnesota boundary adjustments. Appears that the petition is satisfactory to move forward. It's because there's 120 acres or left, and it's not served by any present utilities. What we would do next, if you approve moving forward, is 30 days from a public hearing, we have to provide notice to the townships and any property owners that would be located within that area or contiguous to it, have a public hearing for comment, close that public hearing, and then there would be an annexation ordinance that would be on the agenda at that time for voting up or down. If it's voted up, then we would provide it to the state for final approval after publishing it in the paper. At that public hearing, there would be ability for comment. So everything's moving forward, and if you have any questions.
Excuse me, anybody have any questions for Mr. Gulstead? I see none, sir.
Thank you.
Roll call, please.
Riepel?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Olsted?
Yes.
Demers?
Abstain.
Larson?
Yes.
Vetter?
Yes.
Helms?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Number 17, consider approving the encroachment agreement between the City of East Grand Forks and Premier Homes and Builders for the encroachment to the utility easement on Lot 21, Water's Edge, first edition.
Move.
Moved by Riepel.
Second.
Second by Helms. Questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Riepel?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Olsted?
Yes.
Demers?
Yes.
Larson?
Yes.
Vetter?
Yes.
Helms?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Claims, consider authorizing the city administrator clerk treasurer to issue payments of recommended bills and payroll.
Move.
Moved by Johnson.
Second.
Second by Helms. Questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Riepel?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Olsted?
Yes.
Demers?
Yes.
Larson? Yes. Better?
Yes.
Helms?
Yes. Carried. Mayor Gander.
Just a couple things. First of all, most of us here know that we're proposing to rework our development agreement, and that conversation will continue this coming Tuesday. For all parties interested, please show up, ready to discuss the pros and cons of some of the changes we're proposing and see if we can come to some agreement. And again, we have our neighborhood meeting coming up on December 7th at 6 p.m., and that is pertaining to the improvement hearing for 5th and 20th. So those residents on 5th and 20th, please be sure to come on December the 7th at 6 p.m. to have a good conversation about those improvements. Thanks.
Better.
I don't have anything, thank you.
Mr. Helms.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's been brought to my attention that I don't know who we have cleaning the snow down at the boardwalk on the flood wall down there, but when they go down through there, they don't get off their machine and clean the opening in the wall there, so it just keeps building up. That's kind of the only access to get into some of those businesses down there. So we either need to make sure they get off the machine and clean it, or somehow get that done properly so we don't have any, because it gets pretty icy down there.
We did have to hire out a majority of the cleaning this year. I did sit down and visit with that company last Tuesday and discussed keeping that opening open, and they will keep the opening open, but on the drive side of that dike is Boardwalk's property, and they have chosen not to participate in that snow removal. So they will do the Mike's Pizza building, the empty building where Sicky's was, and then everything on the wet side of the dike. This company happens to also privately contract with Blue Moose, so they'll be doing that area, and they will clean out the openings, but beyond the opening, it would be on then Boardwalk's property, so they'll have to clean up to that point.
Yeah, she does clean that herself.
So, yeah, but it was discussed, and we've asked them to make sure that opening is going to be remaining, and we're going to look at doing something so that it's not as slippery. So.
And then is there any need to, I guess they don't clean up on the top of that round thing there where the handicap goes up, because I was down there today and I see there's a lot of people walk up over those steps and go over them and over that and down into the boardwalk area.
I don't think we've ever
So
cleaned that.
it doesn't look like it has been, but it looks like it's pretty dangerous. I wonder if we should clean that up there also.
Actually, what happens in the winter typically is they block that off. They turn around and they put barriers so that you're not going up and over those steps. I don't know. It hasn't been done yet this year, but typically that's the case. And then it's cleaned around that round oval area. Yep. And then currently right now through the flood wall, there are still those mats that Public Works put out over the metal plate to prevent slipping. So at this point, it appears to be working. I don't know if you're thinking about putting anything else out there.
About putting up a sign at minimum.
Oh, yeah, sure.
To notify people that is slippery and to watch their step going through that opening. But knowing that the snow is coming, I called them quick. And we provided a map, we walked through the locations that we needed them to remove snow. So hopefully that it's accomplished, this winter, so.
Okay, perfect, thank you. And Mr. Stordahl, I got a call from some people out on a pointer on 7th Avenue Southeast on the east side of the road, the alleyway there. Is got on both ends of it's got a couple of pretty big holes in it. If we could look at that, I'd appreciate it.
We'll take a look.
Thank you. That's it, thanks.
Rita Bill.
Nothing at this time.
Mr. Johnson.
Just want to thank Public Works for cleaning up Sunday. They did a good job, and so did the Park Department with the Greenway system. Thank you.
Nothing today.
Dalsted.
Nothing unless there's anybody that has a question for me other than Mr. Gander, Mayor. I just have a couple of documents I need you to sign before you leave.
Good, thank you.
Thank you.
I think as the council's full aware, we did, at the end of October, submit a letter of intent through the Safe Routes to School Infrastructure Grant Program for that potential installation of a hawk system at Bigland and 13th. We did hear back about a week ago. We have been approved now to move ahead with a full application, so we'll be working on that. That's due like January 7th. And I will need to get resolutions from both the city and the schools, so that's something I'm working with Megan on, and then working with Mr. Grassel at the school on to get those resolutions in place. So, but I guess, again, we got to take it step by step here, so we passed the first step, so we'll keep progressing here.
Anything from the department heads? I see none. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move.
Moved by Johnson,
Second.
second by Demers. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. Meeting is adjourned.